Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the channel. And where we are is we're actually in BENBURB in County Tyrone. And we're inside the grounds of St Patrick's Church of Ireland Parish Church. And of course, that's the parish of Clanfickle. Now, the parish dates way back to the time of St Patrick in the 6th century. And the present building that you see here dates back to 1618 and was built by Sir Richard Wingfield to replace the old rundown church in the townland of Clanfickle. It's a plantation church and it stands witness to the events in Irish history over the past 400 years, including most notably the Battle of BENBURB in 1646. So a wee bit of history here, absolutely fantastic. Great to have this church. So you're looking at a piece of history here, folks. Now, Sir Richard was first Viscount Parish Court. That's when it was first created, of course. And it remained as part of the Parish Court estate until 1877, when the estate then was purchased by James Bruce. Now, there's memorials inside the church which bear witness to the major events of Irish history, such as the 1641 rebellion, the Battle of BENBURB in 1646, the Williamite campaign of 1689 to 1691, the 1798 rebellion, the famine, and also the Home Rule campaign. Now, this crypt here, this, as you can see, that obviously the grating there takes you underneath the crypt, but it's very hard to make out, but it is of a minister. So it is, and his wife and family, but very hard to make out, but you can't make out the name. It's actually the Right Reverend Henry Griffin, as you can see, but it's covered with ivy, unfortunately. You'll have to excuse me, I'm just getting over the cold. So he was the rector here of this parish church. And he was born on the 12th of July, 1796. I wonder, does that make him an orange man? But he was born on the 12th of July, 1796. And he died in the year 1866. 1866, you can see that plain. So there you go. That's a minister's grave. Now, the church also has links to Trinity College in Dublin and also to the local linen industry. Now, there's another mausoleum. Don't know who's buried here. So if you know who's buried here, leave me a wee comment. It's from the 19th century. I do know that. And there's also a date here on it for 1842. But the rest is very hard to make out. As you can see. Now, there's another memorial here. I'll not take you over it. I'll just show you it. And I can only make one word out on this, and that was Reverend. So it's another minister, obviously, who's buried here. But it's very hard to read. I can remember being in a graveyard one day, and the undertakers went by me with a coffin. And so I continued to read the headstone that I was reading. And a few minutes later, I noticed they went back by me the other way. The way they came, they went back that way with the same coffin. And I thought to myself, them boys have lost the plot. Just a wee bit of Northern Irish humour there. Now, I want to take you up to a grave here. And on this grave, there's a gentleman mentioned, and his name is James Brown. And it says that he bravely took part in the siege of Derry in 1689. Now, there is a bit of a problem with this, because if this is the case, then he would have been 9 years old. So it's possible that it actually could have been his father and not James himself. So I'm going to take you up and show you this, and you can see what you think of it yourself. Now, if you know the answer to this, because this is quite puzzling, is this James who fought as a boy at the siege of Derry, or was it his father? So if you know the answer to this, then let me know, won't you? Leave me a wee comment. So this is the grave here. And you can see the church in the background. So did James fight as a boy in the siege of Derry? First of all, I'll show you the middle column here. And you can pause the video if you want to read through all these. I won't read it all, but I will read some of it to you. So it's Secret to the Memory of William Brown, and he's late, of Killymatty House, which is in Castle Caulfield, County Tyrone. So this is a gentleman here. This is James Brown. And you can see it says that he was a brave defender of Derry, the siege of Derry, 1689. But he was actually born around 1680. And the siege of Derry was 1689. So that would make him 9 years of age. So did James fight as a boy during the siege of Derry, or was it possibly his father and not James himself? If you know the answer to that, then leave me a wee comment. Now, he died in 1730. But I couldn't believe it when I seen it. Siege of Derry, here's me, oh my goodness. That's fantastic. So there's also a couple of Royal Navy surgeons who are buried here that are mentioned in the family. I think they're buried here. At least one of them I think's buried here anyway. Also a colonel as well. Now you can pause that and have a wee read of those if you want. I don't have the time to read them all. The church is fantastic, isn't it? A plantation church. 400 years, ladies and gentlemen. And it's still standing. So I'm going to take you and show you another grave here. I have to say that grave there of the Siege of Derry was the highlight for me today. In this graveyard. But there's another minister's grave here. It's a flat slab that I'm going to show you. This one here. You can see it's laying flat. So there's not much writing on this, but it's a reverend and his wife. And it's the Reverend James Wilson. He died 24th of April, 1829, and then talks about his wife as well. Now, I don't know who's buried here either. So again, if you know who's buried here, then let me know. It looks pretty substantial, and there's a crest on it. So you would think it's at least a square or someone like that. You can also get a tour here of inside the church and also outside the church. But I like to do things myself and explore myself, you know. But tours are very helpful because they do give you the information. You might say you just don't want to spend the money. I tried to read these, but I couldn't make head nor tail of them. Maybe you can, but I certainly couldn't. So come on, who's buried here? Let me know. I'm dying to find out. You can see the crest there. It's been a great day today. A busy day ministering this morning in Cookstown, Elam. Then a wee bit of church history in the afternoon after dinner, or after lunch, should I say. And then tonight preaching in my Belfast City Mission Hall, Ballyduff, Fairview Road. So this is the bell tower. And the bell was ringing earlier and I thought it wasn't going to stop. So I'll take you over here and show you the church again. And these windows here, I like the windows. But you can see the churches back then, they were built to last. Look at the pillars there. But look at the windows as well. The windows are brilliant, aren't they? But the pillars are certainly, it's not going to blow down, that's for sure. But the windows certainly give it a feel for history, don't they? Don't know who that grave is. No writing on it. So there's another grave I'm going to show you here. This one's from the 18th century. And it's this one here. So very hard to make out, but I did make out a first name, William. And you can also see the date of his death, which is 1758. So William died in 1758, but very hard to make out the rest of it, unfortunately. As you can see, you definitely see the 1758, no doubt about that. So there's just one more grave I want to show you, and it's around the front, but I'm also going to show you the door. So this is the bell tower. I have to be quiet because there is a meeting in progress. So that's why I can't take you into the church. It's actually the Mothers Union or something like that who's meeting here today. But you can see a wee shield above the church there, above the church door. So we'll finish off with this one here. This is a unique memorial here as well. So we'll try and read this. This was erected in memory of John Atkinson, Esquire of BENBURB. He was the founder of the temperance societies in the neighbourhood. So he was the founder of the temperance societies in the neighbourhood, John Atkinson. So pretty unique, isn't it? So I hope you've enjoyed the history here today. I certainly have. 400 years of history at this church, folks. Absolutely fantastic. So thanks for watching and God bless.